here. Have you guys heard what is going on with Donald Trump? President, or I should say, former President Donald J. Trump. So basically, they're trying to take this man down. And I don't even understand how Donald Trump runs in a presidential election and, he's in court left and right. I mean, at his age, in the 70s, like, can you believe the level of activity that Donald Trump is involved in? I mean, yeah, just yesterday or day before yesterday, you had Donald Trump winning the Iowa caucus. He's on stage with Vivek Ramaswamy getting that endorsement. A lot of people are talking about whether or not Vivek Ramaswamy will be the VP or not. There's a lot up in the air on that one. So we'll definitely have to see what happens on that one. But Donald Trump, man, like this guy, you can't keep him out of the news. In fact, I mean, did you guys hear what Katie Fang said about Elena Haba, who's Donald Trump's lawyer? He said, "You get what you get what you pay for." When it comes to her, she just kind of went in on Donald Trump's lawyer, but and then of course you got Speaker Mike Johnson. He's demanding some serious action from the Biden administration regarding the borders. So yeah, he's really laying down the hammer there, guys. By the way, if you support Trump, drop a quick comment down below. Also, if you support Biden, drop a comment down below. I'd love to know where you guys stand on that. But yeah, and even Judge Kaplan was threatening to remove Donald Trump from the courtroom in the E. John Carroll trial. Yeah. So anyway, a lot is going on with Donald Trump, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And I'm trying to keep up with you guys in the comments. I got a couple of screens up here. Donald Trump has no chill, according to Strega Hart. Good evening, Anasta. Can you guys hear and see me okay? I hope you can. What's good, guys? I see you, Cash Ryan. We got Vicky Jones in the house. We got a lot of Trump supporters here. Wow, a lot of Trump supporters. I haven't seen one Biden supporter in the comments yet. Okay. All right. I understand. Well, anyway, so have you guys heard what's going on in this whole Maine, Colorado situation going on? So anyway, it's kind of something that makes you kind of sit back and really think about the state of our democracy, right? So picture this. So a judge in Maine is delaying a decision on whether to remove former President Donald Trump from the state's ballot. Have you guys heard about that? So basically, this is this is pending the Supreme Court's decision on a very similar case in Colorado. So last month, Maine's Democratic Secretary of State, along with Colorado, they basically took a very bold step by dropping the former president from the state ballot. And, citing his involvement in an insurrection. But here's the kicker. Despite these different allegations, he hasn't formally been charged in these 91 counts that we've seen, as far at least the last I checked. Have you guys seen that he's actually been formally charged? And so since he hasn't, it really makes you wonder, right? Like, what's up with that? Now, I just want to kind of unpack this a little bit, right? Because this is unprecedented. You got the 2024 presidential election right here. Like, literally, it's heating up. You got President Joe Biden. You got, former President Donald Trump running. You got Ron DeSantis. You got, what's her name? Nikki Haley. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I'm waiting to see, Gavin Newsom step up. But anyway, so no Secretary of State has ever denied a presidential candidate access. No presidential candidate has ever been accused of an insurrection. And so this is a first. This is a historical first, mind you, right? But it's also a very complex legal battle, guys. And, as what's his name? Andy McCarthy pointed out, the situation could lead to two phases of chaos. Now, imagine this, guys. If states start making up their own rules, we might see waves of litigation affecting both the primaries and the general election. And so, what would happen in that situation? Like, you guys can already see what will come down the pipeline if that would have happened. All these different states, we got 50 different states making up 50 different rules because, they want to run their own show, right? Well, we could potentially see, chaos in the 2024 presidential politics or the 2024 electoral politics. And this would be a huge problem. This would be a massive problem, right? But here's where it gets even more intriguing, guys. So the Supreme Court now is facing two major issues. All right. So first, can a state independently decide a crime has been committed? In this case, an insurrection, and then go ahead and remove a candidate from the ballot. Now, secondly, there's the question of presidential immunity. All right. So these aren't just legal questions. These are questions about the very fabric of our democracy, right? I mean, like, look at the 14th Amendment. So look at the 14th Amendment, guys. Nikki is a wolf in sheep's clothing, according to Kathy Shaw. Dina Colin says, I do not support Biden or Trump. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. Dina, don't apologize. That's your opinion, Stand up, stand your ground, Anyway, so the 14th Amendment, right? Section 3 comes into play here. It's not just a limitation on the public, it's a limitation on the office holder, right? And it's about who can hold office, not who can be elected. So you see what I'm saying here, right? So to kind of put it into perspective, you guys remember when Mel Carnahan was elected to the Senate back in 2000-ish? Nobody suggested that he should be removed from the ballot because he was deceased, even though being alive is obviously a qualification for the Senate. So why is the situation, why is this the situation with Trump? Why is this situation with Trump any different? Like I said, I think, it just seems like this is a really unprecedented situation here. But what do you guys think about this whole thing, right? About this whole main ballot and all these different states that are looking to or actively trying to remove Donald Trump from the ballots. Now, think about the implications here, right? Like, this is just tip of the iceberg. If the Supreme Court decides that a state can remove a candidate based on its own interpretation of a crime, that is going to set a precedent. And we got to be very careful whenever new precedents are set. So, Mendia Business says, get all them bees out of power because all of them have abused it and all of them are corrupt and the corruption has spiraled down the corporate ladder. I see you. I see you. Now, so again, we got to be real careful with these. And by the way, Mendia, I really appreciate you supporting the channel. You're amazing. I appreciate you guys. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the show, definitely hit the like button for the video. Also subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys. But yeah, we got to be real careful with setting these new precedents, guys. And it potentially kind of gives states considerable power over national elections. But of course, if the court rules otherwise, then it might as well be seen as undermining the state's rights to govern their own electoral processes. So, of course, that's another issue. But let's dive a little bit deeper into this, right? So what does this mean for us voters? Well, number one, it's kind of a test of our trust. You're welcome, Medea. It's kind of a test of our trust in the electoral system and the balance of power between state and federal authorities. Now, so just imagine the potential scenarios here, right? Let's just say Trump is kept off the ballot in these states, right? His supporters might see it as a political move rather than a legal one, right? So that's one issue. Now, on the other hand, if he remains on the ballot, others might view it as a failure of the legal system to hold powerful figures accountable. You see what I'm saying? Either way, it's a situation, that's going to bring some political tension and some legal complexities. And, there's going to be some unhappy people either way, no matter what. Archie says the 14th Amendment doesn't apply in this case. It was meant for leaders in the southern states after the Civil War. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, right? So you got partisan politics, guys. It's no secret that our political system is deeply divided. I don't know when it's ever been cohesive or, both parties, Republicans and Democrats, seeing eye to eye. I don't remember a situation where that was ever the case. And at best, they leverage each other to get what they want. They leverage each other to push policies and laws and new bills and whatnot. But it's always been a you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of situation at best. If not, it's like, you got one party trying to finagle their way into getting what they want. But anyway, so this whole situation with Trump's ballot, the access could further deepen these divisions. There's hardly any bipartisanship anymore. And, if the decision to keep him off the ballot is seen as a partisan move, well, this could ultimately erode public trust in our own electoral system. But then again, isn't the integrity of our elections worth protecting? Like, even if it means making some tough decisions, I'm gonna let you guys make that decision, because either way, it's not an easy call to make. I would hate to be a judge. Matter of fact, I would never ever want to be a judge. I wouldn't want to be president. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to have a political position or any kind of high pressure role like that. It's just, the implications of that are just way more than I'm interested in. But yeah, and what about the role of the Supreme Court in this case, right? Like, they're the ultimate arbiters of justice in our country, right? Their decision on this particular matter is not just going to impact the 2024 election. It's theoretically going to be setting a precedent for, how similar cases are going to be handled in the future. So, this is a big deal, guys. Drake's playlist channel. Like like hip hop Drake? Anyway, so Drake's playlist channel says Trump's better than Biden. I'm looking forward to someone like Ron Paul, who has their eyes on the Federal Reserve. I'm stuck on the Wall Street protests. And we got to keep an eye on all of these jokers. The Fed pumping out money, then contracting the money, raising interest rates, lowering interest rates, blowing up inflation, contracting inflation. I mean, our economy is in shambles right now. I mean, it's really interesting to watch the stock market right now be manipulated as the S&P 500 hits all-time highs. You got the Dow Jones hitting all-time highs. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the situation that we got right here, guys. But let's not forget about us, the voters, right? Are all of you guys voting? Just drop so for the 2024 presidential elections, if you plan on voting, just type in, I will be voting. And if you don't plan on voting, just say that you will not be voting. I'd love to just know how many people are going to be participating in the 2024 election. But anyway, so we're the voters, right? We're the ones who ultimately have power in our democracy, right? So we elect the officials who make these decisions. We have a voice. We need to use that voice, right? So whether it's voting, whether it's engaging in civil discourse, or just staying informed, we got to remember how important our role is in this democratic process. And it's crucial. And we got to hold these people accountable, guys. So let's see. We got a lot of people saying that they're going to be voting. We got Vulcan 219. We got Lynn McMillan saying yes. Bud Gibson, Robin Smith. All right. Marcia Griffith says, I will not be voting. Wow. Diane Redigan says, I am unsure what to do. And that's that's a good point, Diane, because a lot of people are in a situation where they don't really like any of the candidates right now. And so it's like, okay, if I don't like any of the candidates, but I want to vote, I'm an eligible voter, I'm a registered voter, what do? Do I just sit this election out? Or do you vote for someone? Do you figure out who you like the least and vote for whoever is going against them. I mean, like, what do you do? Like, what's the smartest thing to do? If you don't like any of the candidates, but you wanted to vote, you're a registered voter, what do you do, right? So I guess as we watch this situation unfold, we got to remember the importance of our participation in this democracy. And this is why you got to figure out what's your plan, what's your game plan. As Nicole says, don't vote, don't complain. Hey, that's a good policy, because there's a lot of people out here complaining, and it's like, hey, did you stand in line? Did you vote? Did you mail in your ballot? Because if you didn't even try to have an impact on the situation, you can't complain about the outcome, right? But we got to keep asking these tough questions. We got to demand answers from our leaders. After all, like the heart of the whole legal and political maze is a very fundamental question. What kind of democracy do we live in, right? Gloria Wiley says Trump needs to be in jail. We got Drake's playlist channel in here talking about 2012. So yeah, I don't know if I would, I don't know if I can get on board with anyone complaining if you're not voting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hadn't put in, so how you gonna complain? But anyway, drop me some comments, guys. I wanted to give you guys this quick update on what's going on with Trump. If you appreciate the conversation, do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you can't hit the like button, make sure you sign in, create an account on YouTube. That way you can hit the like button, and that way you can subscribe to the channel. Let me know. And before I go, I'm gonna just stay on here for a couple more seconds. I want you guys to tell me what topic you want me to cover next. I'm gonna just sit here and wait. I'm gonna look through some of your comments and I'm gonna jump off, but I want to see what you guys want me to talk about next on the channel. So we got, all right, we got Janice Hackler saying good morning. Good morning to you. I guess it's morning somewhere in the world. Let's see. Monique Apodaca says, I want a safe country, close down our borders. I want our economy back to normal. No more Biden. Mr. Red Wolf says, cover this, but you didn't say anything, sir. Let's see. All right. So Strega Hart wants me to cover Biden's actions on Yemen. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start taking some notes. Let me get my notepad out on my other computer. All right. What we got here? Let's see. The Real Joxer says, I vote Yeshua, our Christ the Lord. Let's see. All right, a lot of you guys are planning on voting in person. Almost 2 here in Georgia. Okay, so Bud Gibson wants me to talk about Social Security. Mike wants me to talk about the aspect of war to stop the election. Interesting. Do you think that the war, which war, right? One of the wars, you think one of the wars or maybe a new war is going to be initiated or declared to stop a future election? That would be a very, very interesting and yet unprecedented situation. Let's see. Corey Scriven says, will you be doing more stocks? I can do more stocks. If you guys want me to cover stocks, I can definitely do that. Let's see. Anne Marie says, cover the attacks on our soldiers by Iran. Okay. All right. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts and insights. Thanks for hanging out with me today. NCAA, what? WDMASC NAACP kicking our FBA over reparations. What? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Hope you guys enjoyed the hangout. Drop me some thoughts and comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.